Hi, Marek.
Hi, Julia.
It's so good to see you today, and I am so excited to get to talk to you about your book, John Leary and One Wish.
Sounds good. Yeah. I'm excited to be here too with you, and that we can discuss the book and the story and what it's about, so people know more about it.
So, how did you come up with writing a story like this?
It was some time ago, but right before I started actually writing it, there's been on my mind the idea of the physical, mental, and spiritual connection in one person, and that it would be cool if I would take it and use it in a story, because I know, just like there's a lot of books about this concept, the body, mind, and spirit, and how the mind influences the body, and also if spirit involved in that, and a lot of self-help books, self-developmental books, psychological books. But I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? There's really not a like an adventure or entertaining story that would use this concept and apply it in it. So, people would have actually access to a story that they would see how this concept works, how it's applied in a, let's say, hero's adventure. So they understand, even from some story in a book, how this idea works.
So, tell us a little bit about your background.
I'm originally from the Czech Republic. I was born and raised there. I grew up there. I would start with just saying that I grew up playing ice hockey and tennis. I played on the highest levels in Europe, both sports. Then when I came to the US, which was right after high school, I started playing a little bit more tennis, and I studied biology. With a psychology minor. That was in my undergrad studies in New Mexico, and then I went to study Doctor of Physical Therapy program in Texas. That was in Lubbock. And I was also, I've been also coaching tennis, for a while now, over a decade now. So pretty much, all these things, about me that I've been doing, I've been studying, I've been experiencing, like sports, competing, coaching, also studying, biology, anatomy, physiology, pretty much all these ideas that I've learned, I, applied in this book, because it's a lot about psychology, because this book there is a lot of inspiration, motivation that I wanted to put in it. So whenever a person reads it, or, a child, they will get that emotional motivation out of it.
So, how long did it take you to write this book?
So I published it last year, like a year and a half ago. And, it pretty much took me 8.5 years before I did that. I actually started writing it as a movie script, because
Okay.
the main idea from the very beginning was always to make it a movie, because I just thought that it would be always cool. But then, when I was writing it for like 4 years and I finished the movie script, I said, you know what, it might be easier if the story gets out there first as a book, which will be more available and easily available for the people and really for the world to learn about the story, about the John Leary. And then rewriting into a book, it took me another, I would say, 4 years before finally publishing it. I also, as you see, I illustrated it myself, everything, all the pictures inside, also the cover. So it all took me, yes, to put it into a book, 8.5 years.
Wow. So, what would you say is the main message of your story?
Like I said, I wanted to show that physical, mental, spiritual interconnection in one person. But the main message is really, I would say, motivation, that inspiration. And because it's related to medical field, there's like health issue that John has and has to deal with. He has to overcome it. So it's about motivating the person that will read it to fight whatever they're facing. If it's mental issue, health issue, whatever, they face, like it's really to motivate the person, give them that strength, that power, that confidence in them, so they know that they can overcome whatever it is, just like John Leary does in this story.
So, who would you say is your target audience?
When I actually started writing the book, even actually before I started writing the book, when the thoughts were, collecting in my mind and how, I would write this. My idea was how cool that would be if there's a story for, let's say, kids that have health issues, kids that have some disease, let's say cancer. And for this group of people, there is a story, there is a book, and maybe later a movie that they will watch and will be really meant for them. And the parents, go, let's say, visit their kids into the hospital or something, and they will show them the movie or give them the book or will read the book to the kid, to get them inspired, get them motivated so they can, fight their disease, their issue, whatever it is. Because I learned also over time what the stories are about, what the movies are about, the books are about. They are all about really creating that emotion, that emotional response in a person, which will help you, which will motivate you. And the best way, it's always to show it through a hero story. Me being in medical field, I also learned the positivity and self-belief, confidence. It has just such a strong impact on a person, and you can overcome anything. If you're positive, if you believe in yourself, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, and that's an amazing message.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I was looking at the cover of the book, and I noticed there's a lot of symbolism here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
It all has its meaning. I also, like I said, I illustrated it all. So the tree, it's pretty much tree of life. It's symbolizing life, right? And then there's a path, which symbolizes that we all have a life's path. We all go through things, experiences, obstacles, events. And then there's a sun, which is that hope, which is that, that positivity, that good thing that we're always going toward into the future. And the clouds, they represent the obstacles in life, and even those clouds are there and they even cover a little bit of sun. It doesn't really matter that they cover the sun, The obstacles will be always there in life. They're always usually good. I mean, I would say almost always good because they help us to, become better people, become better versions of ourselves, become stronger.
So if you could change anything about your book, is there anything you would change?
I actually thought about it recently if I would change anything, but I wouldn't, I also recently read it again, as I already did a few times in the past. I think it's long enough. I think all the messages and, what I wanted to share with the reader, I think I put it there in a good way. I wanted to make a clear story, simple story that will be easily read and understandable even for, little kids when they read it. And I say it's a complex idea put into a simple story so it can be easily understood by anybody.
So where can our readers purchase your book?
So the book has been available for readers on Amazon as an ebook and a paperback. And now it also got on Barnes & Noble as a hardcover. So yeah, it's now available for people to read it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
So what is the next thing you plan to do with your story?
The main idea since the very beginning was always to make it a movie. That's been my vision since the very beginning. So hopefully sometime soon in the future, I'll get to the point when we can actually make a movie out of it and share the message, share the story really with the world and those kids that need help, in that motivation, that inspiration, that they can heal themselves.
Well, thank you, Marek, for meeting with me today. It's been a pleasure getting to learn a little bit more about your book, and we are super excited to see what comes next, and good luck.
Thank you for having me.